Four Packers playing for their jobs. Who will rise, who will fall? The Green Bay Packers are heating up at the perfect moment. After a resounding win over the Seahawks, the team's playoff aspirations are alive and well. Momentum is building, confidence is surging, and the fans are buzzing with hope for a deep postseason run. But beneath the celebratory vibes lies a harsh reality. For some Packers, these final 3 weeks are a make-or-break moment. Jobs are on the line, futures are at stake. And for four key players, the pressure has never been higher. With the spotlight shining brighter than ever, these players must step up or risk being left behind. Whether it's due to injury, inconsistency, or looming contract decisions, the stakes are sky high. General Manager Brian Gutekunst and the front office are watching closely, and the upcoming weeks could determine who stays and who goes when the dust settles on this season. 1. Jaire Alexander, the battle against time and injury. Jaire Alexander's name still carries weight. He's been Green Bay's top cornerback when healthy, but therein lies the problem. The elite defender has been sidelined more often than not this season, logging just 361 snaps. Time is not on his side, and his inability to stay on the field has cast a long shadow over his future in Green Bay. For Alexander, the next 3 weeks represent far more than a return to the lineup. They're his chance to prove he's still the cornerstone of this secondary. The whispers are growing louder. Can the Packers rely on him moving forward? Or will Gutekunst look for a replacement in the draft or free agency? If Alexander doesn't return soon, Green Bay might be forced to find answers elsewhere. The clock is ticking, and every snap he misses could push him closer to the edge. 2. Josh Myers, the weakest link on the line. The Packers' offensive line has quietly been one of the team's strengths this season, except at center. Josh Myers has struggled, and the numbers don't lie. PFF ranks him 50th out of 60 qualifying NFL centers, and his inconsistent play has raised major red flags. For Myers, the next 3 weeks are a desperate fight for survival. His looming free agency gives the Packers an easy escape route if they decide they've seen enough. Rookie Jacob Monk is waiting in the wings, and the draft offers ample opportunities to upgrade the position. If Myers doesn't show drastic improvement, his days in Green Bay are numbered. The Packers can't afford to leave a weak link in their offensive front as they prepare for a playoff run. Myers must step up or step aside. 3. Eric Stokes, a first-rounder in freefall. Once a promising young cornerback, Eric Stokes now finds himself at a crossroads. Unlike Alexander, Stokes isn't battling injuries. He's battling his own performance. Opposing offenses have zeroed in on him all season, and the results have been alarming. 30 receptions allowed on 48 targets. Stokes is not just being tested, he's being exposed. What's worse is his passiveness on the field. Stokes hasn't recorded a single interception this season, a glaring hole for a player drafted to be a playmaker. He often plays too far off his receivers, allowing easy catches and failing to challenge opponents. If this trend continues, Stokes won't just lose his starting role, he may lose his spot on the roster entirely. The next 3 games are Stokes' last opportunity to silence the doubters. His athletic tools are undeniable, but if he can't translate them into results, his future in Green Bay will evaporate. 4. Emmanuel Wilson, the forgotten fighter. Of all the players on this list, Emmanuel Wilson faces the most uphill battle. The number 2 running back has performed admirably in limited action, averaging 4.8 yards per carry on 72 attempts. But in the ruthless world of the NFL, admirable isn't always enough. Wilson's biggest obstacle is the Packers' depth chart. A.J. Dillon's possible return, combined with Marshawn Lloyd's potential, leaves little room for Wilson in 2025. Despite his production, Wilson hasn't done enough to convince the coaching staff to trust him with a larger role. This season, they leaned heavily on Josh Jacobs, and Wilson couldn't stop them from overworking their lead back. That lack of trust could be fatal to his Packers career. For Wilson, these final weeks are about making an undeniable case for himself. He needs to be exceptional, a game changer, to prove he belongs. Anything less, and the Packers will let him walk without a second thought. The clock is ticking. The Packers are surging toward the playoffs, but for these 4 players, the real battle has already begun. Every snap, every tackle, and every moment will be scrutinized. The next 3 weeks are more than games, they're auditions. Who will rise to the challenge and secure their future in Green Bay? And who will fall short, watching their time as a Packer slip away? One thing is certain, the stakes have never been higher. The spotlight is on, and for these players, there's no room for error. Stay tuned because what happens next could change the Packers' future forever.